Morning, everyone. So we got a late start to the day. Stephanie went to the Cafe Promenade to go get us some coffees. I have some pastries that they had up at the entrance to the theater for us. We are here for the Common Ground with Michael Bailey. It's supposed to be an event where he's going to give us information about the updates and future plans for the ships and the Royal Caribbean brand in general. So when she gets back, we'll try to update a little bit. We'll see what kind of information that we can give to you guys. So it's pretty packed in here, though. I think everybody's pretty excited to see what's going on with the Royal Caribbean brand.
Okay, so questions and answers. Now, not yet? Oh, what's going to happen first? No, we're doing Q&A, right? Carnival announced changes to the loyalty program. And that is exactly what we're trying to avoid. So we have a team, we have consultants, we have tech, we have a big project team, we have the entire executive leadership of Royal Caribbean Group, the brands, on regular reviews and meetings about the future of the loyalty program. We're well aware of the different requests and desires and etc. for all of our loyalty members across different brands. They're very similar. There's also differences between how people perceive the loyalty programs by brand. Hopefully you've seen some positive changes in terms of access to information, and you'll see over the coming months and a year or two that things will continue to improve in terms of accessibility, simplicity, making it easier to sell between the brands, get offers, this type of thing. So we're on a journey to get there. Ultimately, we have not defined this yet, but ultimately we are going to get to a one platform database of our loyalty members for Royal Caribbean Group, and as some people use the word ecosystem. You know, we're adding river cruise now, celebrities adding river cruise. There's a lot of investment in the destinations, and I think there's a journey ahead for Royal Caribbean Group and that ecosystem, which I think will be incredibly beneficial to all of our loyalty members, regardless of brand. So, I think we're going there. I think we're going where everybody's going to be happy. I think we're incredibly sensitive to not tipping over the apple cart. We don't want to make decisions that maybe a short-term benefits and then upset our loyalty members. There's also a lot of technology that needs to go into place when you merge data between different brands. There's a lot. I don't know how big our database is. It's probably 40 million people for Royal. I'm guessing. I can't remember that. I would guess celebrities probably 15 million, and Silver Sea's in the millions. There's a lot of overlap. So we're getting there. And I think the answer to your question is yes. That'll come. I don't have the exact timeline. And I think we've had this discussion before, and we've maybe over the last couple of years we started this journey with loyalty 2 years ago. Yeah, 2 years ago. And literally, there's teams working on it. So hopefully, our aim is to make everybody happy. Build slots until 2036. I think that's correct, yeah. So in Helsinki, Finland, where we build Icon Oasis ships, we also build Oasis in France, by the way. We've secured slots, which is a big deal because there's a lot of cruise ship building underway. So there's only a few yards in the world that are capable of building these types of ships. We've been working a lot on Discovery Class. I think you probably heard that a year ago. We said we were working on it. It takes a lot of work to design a ship. It's a lot of work. So we're getting really close. I'm not sure we can't make any announcements now, but I'm hopeful that in the coming months that we will be able to make an announcement on that class. I can tell you that we are working on the class, and the class will be coming. But there's a lot of things that need to happen before that can be formally announced. We've given it the name Discovery Class because we want the ship to be able to really focus on, you can use different terminology, the more exotic itineraries, and sometimes they're called meta regions by our teams. So for example, classically would be the Mediterranean, Europe, Northern Europe, Alaska, and Asia Pacific itineraries. That ship would be, the ship that we're creating would be the ship in the class that would come in and start replacing the older hardware that currently operates in many of those itineraries. So we're trying to, we're excited about the product, what we're creating, and I think we'll be very excited to talk to you about it. And for sure, this time next year, if we're in the President's Cruise, we'll have probably lots of information to share with you. We have a chief dog officer is the official title, and the chief dog officer has a dedicated chief of staff. I mean, why wouldn't she? Personal vet, trainer, whatever. Whatever she wants, she gets. Reports directly to the captain, has her own private little house and bed on the bridge, just in case the captain needs any navigational support. Has her own dedicated junior suite with the chief of staff, with her own little cubby hole for her own bedroom. So, as you can imagine, it's a dog's life being a chief dog officer. So our plan is to have a chief dog officer in every one of the Icon-class. I mean, funnily enough, we've had a lot of requests from actually captains and management teams on different ships asking us when are they getting their chief dog officer. So we're going to have to think about that. The benefits have been, amazing. I think there was a lot of skeptics about the idea of putting the family dog on the well, yeah, like everyone in my team thought it was a really stupid idea. As soon as you're laughing, I will confirm that they're all gone next year. So, but I tell you one thing that we did do in the beginning, which I think the product team, marketing team, someone had a golden retriever. They put a GoPro on the back of the golden retriever, and on Oasis class, on a couple of our Oasis class ships, in the morning of turnaround day, when there's no guests on board, they let the Goldens run around all around the ship without somebody holding on to them, and it was quite touching to see the response of the crew. So I think when we did that, we thought, this is a great idea. Clearly the crew really like it. It's a really touching thing. And then we've seen also the same thing with the guests. It's a really nice thing, and it's good to have a family dog for a family. And I think we believe it's been a great success. So I think we'll continue to do it. The only thing is that I'm technically the owner of each dog, because under the humane, you can't get a dog, and a corporation can't really get a dog. Maybe you could, I don't know, but we decided we couldn't. So I have to sign all the adoption papers for the dog. So I'm just concerned that if we get 30 golden retrievers, and I've retired, and then the next dude in my job says, get rid of these dogs. Who owns it? Michael Bailey, call him up. Sending him 30 golden retrievers to the villages. And like everything in life, they have pros and cons. And over the years, and in different markets, we've often used different models because it's easier to take one ship in a different market like China or Australia or something like that and operate a different model. The bottom line is the model that seems to be genuinely the most productive, effective, and rewarding for the employees is the model that we operate today. And yeah, we do see different seasons, different itineraries do result in different requests to remove gratuities because they're going to give the gratuity in person. And in many, many cases, the gratuities, it's great. But there are cases where people remove the gratuity and then they don't pay the gratuity. And that is very frustrating when that happens, and it's disappointing. And often, sometimes we get letters, people, punish the company. They think they're punishing the company by not giving the gratuity to the crew member, which of course makes no sense. The kid's giving you great service all week, take care of the kid who's done a wonderful job for you. We do have a safety net for gratuities for the crew. So when if we have a deployment of the ship in a market that's got some kind of issue with gratuities, first of all, we rotate them away from the ship after a season, so we can move them to higher gratuity ships. And then we also have a safety net where if they come forward and say, I'm not getting my gratuities, we give them a minimum basic cash payment, so that they got enough to take care of their debts and commitments and stuff like that. But over the years, we've been all over the place with this, and we think we've got the right system in place. That is a question only a kid would ask. It's like the question when your kid asks you, am I your favorite son? Whose laugh was that? That was great. So, I love all of our ships. I really do. Over all of the years, I've been on all of our ships. Every single ship is its own unique personality, it's got its own character, and it's got its own vibe. And all of these ships are remarkable, I think, and they bring a lot of happiness to our guests. So, you know, I fun enough, we went on the end of the Ultimate World Cruise on the Serenade. Yeah. And I hadn't been on that ship for I don't know how many years. And I went back on that ship and I'm like, what a beautiful ship this is. So well made, so classy, great woodwork. I mean, just the attention to detail was phenomenal. A really beautiful ship with a great atmosphere. So I don't have a, now of course I sail, whenever we introduce a new ship, I'm on that ship for a few weeks. Like I was on Star for a few weeks. I mean, that ship is epic. It's unbelievable. And then the port question, what? Oh yeah. I don't think a perfect day is a port. But now that I've had my lifeline correct me, yeah. I mean, by far, 1,000,000 miles perfect day is my, I love it, yeah. Okay, what's your favorite port? Roatan, Honduras? You the guy who sent me that letter? Yeah, all right. Did you send me some cashew nuts? Oh, you're a good man. Who's my favorite? I got cashew nuts. I like the honey roasted ones, by the way. They're really good. Did you show me a duck as well? Yeah, man, you're out of control. You suggested 3 things, but I've forgotten what they were. One of them was you wanted to be on an advisory committee, right? Yeah. What?
I think probably Wanda.
Wanda?
Yeah, Wanda, please.
Yeah. Well, that's close to you now. I mean, it's not far from Daytona Beach, right? Yeah.
That's an hour and a half.
Yeah, it's nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Okay, so let's chat later, okay? Thank you, Captain. The great true adventurers of the world, that incredible journey you went on. Of course, Royal Caribbean lost about $20 million in that whole thing. It was an amazing experience, and I think it was heartwarming. We did a bunch of us sailed on the ship the last 4 or 5 days, and it was truly amazing to see the impact that that experience had on all of the guests who did the Ultimate World Cruise. It was, you know, truly the Ultimate World Cruise. Every continent on the planet, every port that you'd ever want to visit in the world, across oceans and seas. I think it was 6 months in total. How many? I wondered where that ship was. 9 months, I mean, it was amazing. And when everybody shared those experiences with us, it was quite emotional. And there were some heartwarming stories that came from that. And in many ways, it was kind of, it's really what defines what's special about cruising. I think it was quite amazing. Now we know, we're trying to figure out when will we do the next Ultimate World Cruise. We do know that we're doing the reunions every year. There was a reunion on Serenade a few months ago, a couple of months ago, a month ago, a week ago. Captain Lolly went out there, and then every day, it was in Alaska, and every day we became more and more concerned about Lolly because, you know, she started dressing like a lumberjack. And then she started drinking a lot. And she was like off in the hills. We thought we'd never see her again, but she did come home finally. So we will, at some point in the future, we'll do another world cruise. We just don't know when. Oh, very good question. So a couple of years ago, I think somebody asked us if we were going to bring an Icon-class ship to Galveston. But we haven't confirmed or denied that.
Confirmed.
But I would say that, you know, we are building Perfect Day Mexico, which is absolutely epic. So I wouldn't be surprised if some big announcement came for Galveston. I'm not saying we're putting an Icon-class there, but if I was a gambling man, I'd put down a few dollars on it. But I'm not saying we're doing it. So just wherever that Royal Caribbean blood guy is, do not say I said that. I will be in big trouble when I get back to Miami. So California is an interesting market for us. To be honest, over the decades, we've been in and out. One of the biggest challenges for the California market, as we see it, is it's kind of an itinerary issue. You know, there's challenges with building the itineraries that we think are marketable enough to sustain a lot of capacity in the market. But we are working on it. So I can't really say anymore. I think we view the California market as a great market for Royal Caribbean. It's a great question. I'd love that to happen. I got a bunch of stock. I'd love to see this go. I mean, I think it's a wonderful idea. I'm going to immediately call the office and ask them about that. So, you know, there's obviously a process the corporation follows in terms of evaluation of the stock and the strategy in relation to the stock that needs to go through a process with the board of directors in terms of the plans for the future. And as you know, hopefully, that there's certain. It's very important that officers of the company don't make statements that can be misinterpreted. So, which is true. I mean, there is a legal obligation for us. We need to be very careful about comments, forward-looking statements about the company and stock. So I'm not really able to make any comments or statements about that. I think when the timing is right for the company and the company believes it's a good time, and they will consider all options. So I'm sorry, it's not a very good answer, but I really can't make any statements about that. And any of those statements would come from typically from either the corporate CFO or Jason, for example, who's the Royal Caribbean Group CEO and chair. It's a great question. Tampa is it's an incredibly fast-growing part of Florida, and it's increasingly a more important home port for the industry, but certainly for Royal Caribbean. So when there's a bridge issue, which happens all over the world, it happens in Sydney, it happens in Vancouver, it happens all kinds of places. You know, there's two solutions: you make the ship smaller, or you move the port. Yep. So I don't know what's going to happen with Tampa, but I do know that there's a lot of interest from the industry in terms of improving port access for bigger ships. But I don't know where all that's going. But I would say, if you look at the history of the evolution of the industry, that things change that way. Discovery class is going to be, we're planning that it'll be Panama capable. It'll go through the Panama Canal, which we think will be a real positive because it'll be able to go to Alaska in the summer, then it can get back into the Caribbean. I think it's within about 14 days, which means it doesn't have to do the 55-day around South America thing. So that's an indication of, you know, the capability. In the past, we've done things like had retractable funnels. I don't know how many of our ships have them today, but several ships do, where we've dealt with a bridge problem by being able to shrink the funnel. It's the funnel that's often the obstacle. You know, we shrink them down. So there's solutions, is what I'm trying to say, for Tampa, and we highly value Tampa as a home port and as a growing market for all Caribbean. Okay, now we're going to talk about next year's. Does anyone have any bets? Wrong. Start? No. Who? Raspberry? Actually, you know, 2027 is the 10th anniversary of the President's Cruise. So we got to really think about that one. Not that we don't think about them every year, but this one we got to think especially hard. It could be Raspberry. We could take a ship and rename it Raspberry.
Alaska, California.
And, you know, just get lost in the Raspberry. But wait, if you have any ideas on the 10th anniversary of the President's Cruise, because we're going to have to go big on that one. Like, it's going to have to be, you know,
Every Caribbean port.
We could do an ultimate boat cruise for the 10th. We could just leave forever. No, it's the President's Cruise next year is going to be on Icon of the Seas. And do we have a date? Do we have a slide?
Roll it.
Here we go. Oh, roll it. We got a video.
And music.
We have to go. It's my birthday.
What? October 3rd through the 10th.
October the 3rd through the 10th, 2026.
All right, so that was good. We got a lot of good information we can share. We'll run through that later. We're going to head up to El Loco Fresh, get us some food, and then head to the pool. Hopefully we can partake in some of the other special events they have today. But it was definitely a good experience to go and listen to everything that they have planned.
Right in the Royal Promenade, we spotted this massive American flag for the veteran ceremony. Such a powerful moment. Next, we paused to admire this fancy dessert presentation in the Windjammer before grabbing some tacos at El Loco Fresh. With our bellies full, we explored the mini golf course and cornhole boards up on the upper deck. Then we couldn't resist watching someone soar across the zip line. It's wild seeing it from this angle. We took a moment to soak in the incredible aft views before making our way to the pool party, where Twisted Tea was keeping the energy high with free sunglasses and hats for everyone.
We are your Royal Party Squad, and this is your plunge pool party. We are ready to have a beautiful time with you all. Are you ready to have a good time? In 1, see who's over at the Lime and Coconut drinking some twisted tea. Lime and Coconut, let me hear ya! We're gonna have a dance competition today. How does that sound? That sounds like fun, right? Oh yeah, do we have anyone who likes to shake it down there at the pool? Well, you better get ready because your royal party squad is on their way to grooving with you!
All right, guys, we're back. Long day at the pool. I got involved in the dancing competition. It's not something I would normally do, so they called me into it.
He did good.
I don't know if I did good, but I tried my best. I don't like the attention normally, so I'm not one of the types of people that to go run up there and do it, but I was walking around and one of the cruise director staff people came over and he was very adamant about me doing it. So we partaked. We had fun at the pool. They started doing the sexiest man competition, but we needed to come back and get ready for dinner. So we got our showers. Stephanie's over there getting ready. So we plan to go to dinner at 5 o'clock, which is our dining time for our last day. I believe the festivities are going to keep going tonight. Rev Run and DJ Records are supposed to be doing stuff in the promenade
At 9.
at 9.
Yeah.
We have outfits for it, both myself and my brother. So we made sure that we're going to dress up for this cruise. We don't normally do that either, so it should be pretty
First.
interesting. Yeah, it'll be a first. You have stuff that you're dressing up for as well, right?
Yeah, I have some like 80s, 90s type clothes that I'll change into. We're not wearing them to dinner quite yet, but we'll change it right before the
Yeah,
party.
yeah. We're going to go to dinner first, and then we can always come back and change. It's our last day, so as she's been getting the shower, I've been trying to clean things up, get kind of somewhat organized and packed up. So it's a little hectic, but it's been a pretty fun President's Cruise so far. We've met some great people.
Yeah.
I really liked having the Common Ground presentation earlier with Michael Bailey. That definitely gave us a little bit of insight to where Royal Caribbean has taken the company
Yeah.
as a whole.
It was
So
good
that
to hear kind of the future and confirm some things that everyone was wondering about. So.
Right. So they definitely hit on the Discovery class stuff that we've been hearing about. They've hit on a little bit of kind of the ports that they would like to establish more. So
Like eventually, Icon-class is going to get into Texas.
yeah, that's
but
definitely one of the things that they've 100% were
alluded
driving
to.
home. That was
Eventually.
yeah,
No
that was a
official
result of a question about taking some of the Icon-class ships to the West Coast, correct?
Yeah.
And he diverted to not confirming, but more or less confirming
Eventually.
that an Icon-class ship will make its way to Galveston, and then talked about the possibility of, as cruise itineraries grow, there may be a need for increasing capacity of the ships, which kind of leads into, I think, within the last couple of months, if you guys have been kind of paying attention to what Royal Caribbean's been pushing as far as the itineraries, they've very heavily took some of their social media influencers and took them out to the West Coast to go out of LA on the Ovation of the Seas, correct?
Yeah. I think
So they took them on the Ovation of the Seas, which has more recently been redone, had them go to a lot of the ports out on the west coast of Mexico. So Cabo and Ensenada, all those ports out there. I think their ultimate goal is to eventually try to grow the West Coast need for cruising. And if they can successfully do that, then there may be a possibility that they want to put some bigger ships out there. I think they've definitely, I won't say confirmed, but alluded to the fact that they would like to see that grow.
Yeah, and they also said that, and they, by Michael Bailey himself, alluded to, they have the dock set up until 2036. So they plan on building / upgrading ships for the next 11 years. So.
Right. So they've definitely secured spots. They've talked about a possibility of a 6th or 7th Icon-class ship, correct? That was what he had
They confirmed
mentioned.
number 5.
They've confirmed number
and
5.
it said that gives them room for 6 and 7.
Right. And that was a result of somebody asking about the Discovery class. So I think as they continually develop their plans and needs for the Discovery class that they've talked about. Depending on what kind of progress they've made with that, that may kind of push more towards which direction they decide to fit into those slots for up to 2036. That may allow them to do the Icon class and then also multiple Discovery class ships along with that. They definitely have the dock space. It's one of those things where they're kind of limited. There's very few shipyard builders in the world. One of them being in France, and then also the Meyer Turku Finland one, where they've been building all of these Icon-class ships. And I believe this ship as well, this Utopia of the Seas. I think that came out of there as well. If not, it came out of the France one. They've been using both ports, so I think it'll be pretty exciting. They've got a lot planned. They continue to keep finding ways to develop themselves. One of the other things that got brought up was the specific President's Cruise to here. They've got the one planned for next year. We may give more details to that in the future. We're going to try to see if we can book that for sure, because I think it'll be exciting. They have also talked about the past President's Cruise and the World Cruise. They had a little bit more of some logistics issues. We won't get into big detail on that, but I think that may lead into a little bit of why maybe people have been underwhelmed by this President's Cruise. Seems like they've done a good job of getting sponsorships. They've done a good job at getting some of the fun parties going, the extra calendar events for us. But some people are underwhelmed, and I think that may be a little bit because of some of the issues that they've had with a couple of the other mentioned World Cruise and the other President's Cruises. But it does seem like that next year may remedy that a little bit. I think that it'll be very exciting. They're using one of their very new ships. We'll just let you know we're super excited about it.
Yeah.
So we will definitely be getting with travel agents when we get back.
Tonight, in the main dining room, we got to experience the Utopia Remix President's Cruise 2025 menu. I kept it simple with a Caesar salad, and Taylor tried the tapas. Light, fresh, and flavorful, though some warm pita bread would have made it even better. For mains, I went with a pecan-crusted salmon and a lobster tail on the side, savory, flavorful, and filling, while Taylor went with the braised lamb paired with a lobster tail, which was tender, rich, and definitely unique. Before dessert arrived, the dining staff put on a fun dance performance, celebrating their title as the top-rated ship for service in the fleet this past month. For dessert, I enjoyed my all-time favorite, the warm apple cobbler, and Taylor tried the layered beef trifle. It was good, but he probably won't be picking it up again next time.
So that wraps up dinner. That was pretty good.
It's good.
Yeah. What do we got planned tonight?
Tonight we have the 80s 90s show with Rev Run and DJ Ruckus.
Right.
So that's on the agenda. Oh, and then at 8 o'clock we have the adult comedian.
Yep.
Yep.
So we may run back to the room beforehand so we can get into our
outfits.
costumes. But otherwise, that's what we got planned. We may go hit up the Mason Jar one more time if we have time, but looks like tonight's probably going to be crammed for time again, like usual.
Yeah, jam-packed. These short
Yeah.
sailings are really getting us.
Yep. So we'll see you guys wherever we head next.
Then we checked out the VR setup, giving a sneak peek at Perfect Day Mexico. The simulation was impressive, showing some of the exciting new attractions and experiences they're planning for this upcoming stop. And then we got dressed up. What do you guys think?
today we're disembarking the ship. We are going to head up to the Windjammer, get some breakfast before we get off the ship, and then we're going to head up to St. Augustine for
Stay for the day.
for the night, and then we're going to head back home tomorrow. All in all, it's a pretty fun President's Cruise. We can't really go wrong with Royal Caribbean, especially on this ship. The ship is meant for fun, and we definitely had fun. So
Yeah, it's a fun time.
we've gotten a little bit of service. We're down in our cabin right now. I kind of seen a few posts here and there. There's definitely some people that are, I would say, disappointed. I think some of the other presidential cruises really set expectations high, and this one may have not had quite the same amount of hype and the same amount of, I guess, like freebies and extra events and stuff like that. But all in all, I feel like they did a decent job. It was fun. The cruise directors that they had on board are probably some of the best.
Yeah, they brought extra ones on for the extra stuff they were doing.
Yeah, so we definitely are grateful that we got Mark and Dan as the cruise directors for this cruise. But for now, that ends our President's Cruise 2025 with Royal Caribbean
On Utopia of the Seas.
on Utopia of the Seas. So don't forget to subscribe for the next adventure.
And always stay lit.